Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you love Naruto fanfics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Let's begin with part 1. He had watched as the woman he had loved all his life turn into a shadow of her former vibrant self. She had been through so many bad relationships that she had finally let it defeat her. Her latest and most recent breakup was the thing that sent her completely over the edge. She hadn't seemed to care much about anything anymore. The young man could remember better times when she was happy, laughing, and smiling. He loved her smile. She had the kind of smile that would just light up her face in so many different ways. He'd give anything to see her smile again. A real genuine smile. He wished he could put the light back into her beautiful aqua-colored orbs. But that light was long gone. He remembered her face and how dead her eyes looked that day. It was raining really hard that time. Her hair was wet and clinging to her face. She looked so unlike herself. Ino-chan, he called out to her. She had her back turned to him. Ino, he whispered and tried to touch her. She soon turned around to face him. Her once shiny aqua-colored pools were dead and as cold as ice. The light that once seemed to radiate out of them was long gone. Naruto, she whispered. It's over, nothing else really matters anymore. From there she collapsed into his arms. He carried her all the way back to his apartment and took care of her. When she had regained consciousness, she had uttered some words that he would never forget. You're always taking care of me, Naruto, you should stop. I'm not worth it. He would never forget the tone of her voice either. There was no hint of feeling or emotion. Naruto realized his Ino was gone. The handsome 21-year-old blonde sat in his apartment just thinking of the girl he used to know. The one that was always so hopeful, so optimistic. The pretty blonde girl with the confident, vibrant personality. The girl that never let anything get her down. She had the kind of personality that couldn't be ignored. She was the girl he had loved and still loved with everything. He hated to see what she had become. You never want to see the one you love in the worst state possible. You only want to see the best for them. And it was safe to say that Ino was not at her best. He found himself staring at an old picture of the two of them. She was smiling and looked so happy. It had been many months since he had seen her smiling like that. He wanted to see it again. I just want to see you happy again, Ino-chan. He whispered. Only he had a feeling it wouldn't be so easy. Her latest failed relationship looked to be the thing that had broken her. She had many failed romances. Perhaps she simply couldn't handle this latest one. Naruto assumed it was because she had really loved the guy. If she didn't love him, she definitely wouldn't have let it affect her this much. Or maybe it was because she had been through so many bad relationships that it made her become this way. Ino had turned into someone he couldn't recognize. She was not the same person he had known so well. Naruto often wondered if he could have somehow prevented this. After all, he had watched her date and go out into all these relationships. He should have said something, anything to make her see the truth. One of the reasons why he never could say anything was because of his own feelings for her. He simply didn't want to think about her rejecting him. The last thing anyone wants is to be rejected by the person they love. He was positive though that she had to have some idea about his feelings. She was probably not saying anything so she could spare his feelings. He was pretty sure they would always be friends. Slowly but surely he would be able to accept it. He kept telling himself that as long as he had the platinum blonde in his life some way or another he would be okay. It was mostly a load of bullshit and he knew it. Naruto wanted more than friendship. He would always want more. Only right now with her behavior he definitely couldn't say anything to her. Somehow he really doubted she would be able to handle it if he dropped that bomb on her. He knew how to keep quiet. He had kept it quiet for many years. Naruto soon looked outside of his window. It was once again raining rather hard. He didn't want to dwell on the uneasy feelings he had right now. But he could not shake the bad feeling he had. He was worried about Ino. It seemed like every time it rained she was in some type of trouble. An odd theory to have, but he believed it. He was seconds away from going out to find her when his phone started to ring. Hello. He answered. Yo Naruto. It was his friend Kiba Inuzuka. He was a bartender at one of the bars Naruto and all of their friends would often go to hang out. Hey Kiba, what's up? You should probably get down here. It's Ino and she's pretty messed up. Fuck you Inuzuka. He heard Ino's voice in the background. Her speech was slightly slurred. It figures. Naruto thought to himself. Are you coming down here or do I have to call her a cab or something? Kiba wondered. No, I'm coming. Kiba tried to keep her calm. Okay. Yeah, sure buddy. I'll see you when you get here. Naruto gave a slight nod then said goodbye to his friend. So his theory had been right. She was in some type of trouble. Of course, being the devoted friend he was, he would come for her. He hurried out of his apartment and went down to the bar. Ino had taken to drinking more these days. At least every other week she would get so drunk she wouldn't be able to do anything but pass out. He hated what alcohol did to her. She just wasn't herself when she was drinking. He remembered a time when she would barely touch the stuff. Come on Ino-chan, it's just a sip. Naruto urged. It's your birthday. Ino looked a little disgusted as he held the glass of white liquid to her lips. No, you know I don't drink that much. I don't care if it's my birthday or not. The blonde male just gave his friend a smile. Ah, you're no fun. He teased. Well, I'd rather be no fun than drunk off my. She laughed. He just continued to smile at her. He adored her laugh. What's wrong? She noticed him staring at her. Nothing. He nearly stumbled over his words. It's fine, you don't have to drink any. Right. She nodded. Hey Kiba, I'll have a ginger ale. Sure. The brown-haired male nodded and poured her a glass of ginger ale instead. But that was a long time ago. Alcohol looked to be one of the platinum blonde's best friend, now. A sad sigh escaped the young man as he entered the bar. He scanned the room for a sign of his drunk friend. Not that it would be hard to spot her bright blonde hair. He saw her sitting at the bar with her head down. Hi Kiba, is she okay? Yeah, she's just been sitting there like this for a while. Naruto put his hand to her shoulder. Get off of me. She spoke and turned slightly to see who had put their hands on her. She saw the spiky blonde hair and those cerulean blue pools. She blinked a few times. Naruto? She questioned. So she wasn't that drunk to the point where she couldn't recognize people. Yes. He nodded. Come on. He tried to reach for her. Let's get you out of here. She shook her head no and sloppily pushed his hand away from her. No. She stuttered a little. I'm fine here. Go away. He frowned. You're not fine. Come on, I'm taking you out of here. She tried to push him away once more, but he put his arms around her and picked her up. She was in no condition to fight him. Besides, he was stronger than her anyway. Naruto, put me down right now. She demanded. He ignored her. Don't start a scene right now. I'll take her, thanks Kiba. Sure. I figured that you would want to take her home. She hasn't really been herself lately, huh? Naruto looked at her for a minute. No, she hasn't. Naruto agreed. Okay. Come on Ino-chan, let's go. He carried her out of the bar. She didn't really start complaining until they were about a block away. Fuck, why is it so wet? It's raining Ino. I forgot to bring an umbrella. Sorry, he added. Whatever. She sighed. She began swinging her legs around, making it harder for him to carry her. Ino-chan, please cut it out. You're making this harder. Naruto. She complained. I wanted to stay there. Take me back. No, going to the bar is the last thing that you need. I'll take you home, okay? No, I don't want to go home. She protested. The last thing he wanted was to make her upset. He didn't feel like fighting with a drunk Ino in the rain. Fine. Just calm down. I'll take you back to my place, okay? She appeared to satisfied with this because she didn't argue anymore. The young man continued to steal glances at her. She was still the most beautiful thing in the world to him. He would always see her in that light. Naruto. She shivered. Hurry up, okay, it's cold. Yeah. He nodded. We're almost there anyway. She held on to him. Her grip wasn't very tight. She looked to be weaker anyway, meaning she was probably skipping meals again. He knew he had to get her to eat something at some point. He soon got to his apartment and reached for his keys. He was so used to carrying her and opening doors he had become a pro. Once inside, Ino tried to get down. Let me down, okay. He carefully placed her down. She stumbled over to the couch. You need to get out of those wet clothes. Naruto told her. I'll be back. Whatever. She sighed. The blonde female stretched her legs out as she laid down. She felt so unbelievably tired this couch would not be cutting it. Slowly she rose to her feet once again. Naruto, I'm going to the bedroom, okay? She would have fallen, but suddenly two strong arms were now wrapped around her waist. I'll help you, Naruto told her. He guided her to his bedroom and helped her lay down. You should really stop this. You're always taking care of me. Here. He handed her one of his oversized t-shirts. Unfortunately, she was struggling a little. Do you want me to help you? He asked and sat down. I don't care, she told him honestly. She lifted her arms up and he helped her get out of her wet clothing. This was not the first time he had done this for her. He had a feeling it probably wouldn't be his last either. She lay back down on his bed. Her eyes were now closed. Naruto just stared at her with worried eyes. Ino-chan, I'm really tired, she whispered. Did you have a lot to drink? He asked. I don't remember. No, not really. Kiba was just being annoying. God, she said with slight frustration. He didn't have to call you. I would have come to find you anyway, you know that. She opened her eyes and slowly focused her attention onto him. You really should stop taking care of me. Someone has to. Naruto reminded her. She then put her hand to his cheek. She stroked his face with her hand. Naruto. She whispered and pulled him down to her a little. I don't get it. Get what? He wondered. How can you do it? I know you must really want to fuck me right now. How can you keep yourself in control like this? I don't know what you're waiting for, just fuck me already. She pulled his mouth to hers for a kiss. Her breath smelled of the liquor she had been drinking. He shouldn't even be kissing her, but he found himself returning the kiss. Until his right mind kicked in and he ended the kiss. No. Naruto spoke. No. She blinked. What do you mean no? Naruto, I know you like me. Don't pretend that you don't. We both know it. There was no way he could possibly deny it. He did like the platinum blonde. He more than just liked her. It was much deeper than that. It was more deeper than some attraction too. Ino-chan, it's more than that and you know it. She blinked again. Then why are you saying no? Come here. She tried to kiss him again. No. He told her. Not like this. Not when you're drunk. I won't take advantage of you that way. Forever the nice guy. Well, I'm giving you permission to take advantage of me. She wrapped her arms around his waist and tried to pull him towards her. He did want her, that was no lie. But not in this way. He didn't want to have drunken with her. It would not be worth it in the end. If he couldn't have her in a state where she wasn't drunk, then he didn't want her at all. Ino-chan, you have to stop. He told her. No. She moaned out. Let's not stop. It's okay. She ran her fingers through his spiky blonde hair. And started to place kisses on his neck. A slight moan escaped his mouth. Her kisses did feel nice. See, you're enjoying it. You want this, I know you do, Naruto. He pushed her away. No, Ino-chan, I'm not going to do this with you. You're drunk. The last thing I want to be is a drunken memory for you. The blue-eyed female sighed and angrily pushed him away. Fine then, don't fuck me. I don't care, whatever. I guess I'm not really good enough for you. You know that's not true, Ino. You're beautiful drunk or sober. Here, get some rest, okay? He tried to help her get under the covers. I really shouldn't be here. Naruto, for your own good you should stop taking care of me. He was about to respond, but he noticed the young woman had finally fallen off to sleep. It was about time too. He stood up and placed the blanket over her sleeping form. Despite what she said, he knew he would always be there to take care of her. Ino was messed up right now. That fact had been more than obvious. She needed someone and he wanted to be that someone. You need me, Ino-chan, even if you don't see it. I have to be here for you. He watched the rise and fall of her chest. She would most likely feel it in the morning. He was already preparing himself for what would come tomorrow. Naruto knew of course he would be able to handle it. He had handled it all before. He knew how to deal with Ino in the state she was in. He sighed. I'll be ready for whatever happens. The young man decided. For most of the night Naruto watched as Ino slept. He watched the rise and fall of her chest. He could hear her calm breathing. The young man found he could do nothing but watch for a while. To be honest, he was very worried about her. It seemed that everything she did worried him lately. Every now and then she spoke a few incoherent words in her sleep, but other than that she seemed to be okay. Around 4 in the morning the blue-eyed male had finally closed his eyes to sleep. He was sitting up in the chair while he had given her the bed. He had always done it this way. He would let her get the bed while he slept in a chair nearby, not that he didn't think of getting in bed besides her. He often wanted to hold her in his arms and hold her close. He would never do it simply because it never felt like it would be the correct thing to do. Naruto had a feeling she wouldn't want him to do it, especially not now with the self-destructive behavior and self-loathing she seemed to be doing these days. Naruto felt like the only thing he was doing these days was sitting and watching from the sidelines. Sure, he was there to help put the broken pieces back together, but sometimes he really felt like he was just doing nothing as Ino wrecked her life. There has to be a better way to help her. He thought in his sleep. Naruto's dream. The blonde man found himself in the presence of the beautiful platinum blonde. She looked different to him right now. There was a real, genuine happy smile on her face. He hadn't seen her smile like this in a very long time. It made him feel good to see her with a real smile. Hey, she smiled. Hey, are you okay? Yes, everything is much better thanks to you, Naruto. She suddenly wrapped her arms around his shoulders. Ino-chan, he whispered. Naruto, thank you so much for always being there for me. I owe you so much. He slowly placed his arms around her waist. He held her close to him. He could literally hear and feel her heartbeat. It's okay, Ino-chan. I wanted to be there for you. I know I'm so lucky to have you. I didn't really realize that until I was at my worst. She then pulled away from him slightly. The two blondes were now staring at each other. I love you, Naruto. She whispered to him and pulled his lips to hers for a steamy kiss. I love you too, he whispered in his sleep. Later that morning a pair of aqua-colored orbs opened, the very strong sunlight hitting her eyes. She put her hand over her eyes. Goddamn sunlight. Ino sat up and looked at her surroundings. She was in a bed that she knew was not her own. What happened? She saw that she was wearing one of Naruto's t-shirts. She then remembered how she had ended up here. Oh yeah, she was about to close her eyes and go back for some more sleep when the bedroom door opened. Hey, you're up. Naruto spoke. Hey, she replied. I made you some breakfast because you need to eat something. She raised an eyebrow to the contents of the bowl he had in his hand. What the fuck is that? She immediately asked. It's oatmeal, you need to eat a good breakfast. She looked completely disgusted by the oatmeal. She wasn't even hungry right now, and even if she was, she wouldn't have wanted any oatmeal. No thank you, that shit looks gross. She said simply. Naruto let out a sigh. He could see he would most likely have a fight on his hands here. You have to eat, he said again. Well, I'm not eating that. I'm not even hungry anyway. Ino-chan, I really don't want to fight with you this early in the morning. So will you please eat? The blonde female casted him one more look before taking the bowl from him. She didn't like oatmeal. She had found it to be one of the most disgusting things in the world. I hate oatmeal, you know. She reminded him. It's good for you though. I know, but that doesn't mean it tastes good. She picked up the spoon and began to swirl it around in the oatmeal. He could see she was making no motions to eat any of it. He soon sat down besides her. You aren't going to make me feed you, are you? Because I will if I have to, you know. He gave her a slight smile. The blue-eyed female did not seem to have anything to say to that. What time is it? She suddenly asked. He looked over to the clock on his nightstand. It's 8:30. Shit. She cursed. I should go. Ino was about to get up when she suddenly fell back onto the bed. You don't look like you're able to go anywhere for a while. This is nothing but a minor setback, I'll be up soon. You need to eat and get some strength back. You're not going to let this go, are you, Naruto? Fine, I'll eat, but I'm not eating oatmeal. Help me up, okay? The young man helped her into the kitchen. She stood there staring into the refrigerator for a while. My god, you have so much healthy shit in here. Since when did you become a health nut, Naruto? There isn't anything wrong with eating better. You're still eating ramen, I see. Yeah, he nodded. Well, some things can't be helped, I guess. You always did like eating it. It was like your favorite meal, I remember. Ino finally found a soda and a box of cookies he had hidden behind some fruit. Jackpot, she whispered. She sat down to a breakfast of cookies and a soda. Naruto could do nothing besides let out another sigh. It wasn't really what he would call a good breakfast. Ino-chan, that really isn't a good choice. Whatever. She spoke through mouthfuls of cookies. It's my choice. I needed a sugar rush. She took a few sips of the soda, then put the can back down. Okay. Naruto, I'm going to go grab a shower, then I'm gone, okay? He watched as she stood up from her chair. Hey, Ino-chan. Yeah, are you going to be okay getting back home? The blonde female blinked. He was always so concerned for her. She thought that he was really just wasting his time by taking care of her so much. Yeah, I'll be fine. Are you sure? He asked again. He was cut off when she suddenly walked over to him. She put her arms around his shoulders. Hey, do you want to join me? Huh? He blinked. She laughed at the curious facial expression on his face. Your reactions are cute. Do you want to take a shower with me? She asked again. Ino-chan. She simply pinched his cheek and let him go. It's okay. She whispered. Don't get uncomfortable, okay? You don't have to do anything. I'm going to go shower now. Right. He nodded. She then made her way to the bathroom so she could take a shower. Naruto let out a breath. He knew that she had to be joking about taking a shower with her. He just wasn't ready to believe she had been serious. Instead, he put those thoughts out of his mind and poured himself a bowl of cereal. Before long, Ino had appeared again. She was wearing nothing but a towel. Naruto's eyes widened and he almost choked over the juice he was drinking. Ino-chan. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I came to ask you where my clothes were. I need to get dressed. And you had to come out here like that to ask me where your clothes were? Sure. She nodded. What the big deal? I have a towel on and it's not like I don't have anything you haven't already seen before. Anyway, she changed the subject. Have you seen my clothes? They're in my bedroom. He answered. Thanks. She nodded. Naruto couldn't help but to stare at her as she walked away. The girl was gorgeous and he had always been attracted to her. It is hard to stay in control sometimes. He admitted to himself. He hadn't forgotten how she had approached him last night. She was basically telling him to fuck her right then and there. But he had to remember she was drunk and would have most likely regretted it in the morning. Besides, like he said, he didn't want to be a drunken memory for her. He was so wrapped up in his thoughts he hadn't heard her come back into the room. She blinked when she noticed him spacing out. What the hell is wrong with him? She wondered. Ino wrapped her arms around his shoulders again. Hey Naruto, what's wrong? Huh? He snapped out of his thoughts. I'm sorry, I was just thinking. Yeah, I can see that. What are you thinking about? Nothing. He lied. Are you going to leave now? I'll take you home. You don't have to, Naruto, I can find my way home, it's not a big deal. I would just feel better if I made sure you got home okay. The platinum blonde frowned slightly. You don't need to take care of me. If you want, I'll call you when I get home, okay? Will that make you feel better? She thought that this was the perfect compromise. She would call him once she got home so he wouldn't have to worry. Will you just let me get you home? Naruto. She shouted. I'm not drunk anymore, okay? I'll be fine getting home, so please stop worrying already. He didn't completely trust her to her own devices. For all he knew, she would go home, grab another bottle, and pass out drunk on the floor. You aren't drunk right now. He started. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? She raised her voice again. Ino-chan, you can't blame me for being worried about you. Lately you just haven't been yourself. Well, you know what? I don't want you to worry about me anymore. I'll do you a favor. I'll just get out of here and don't follow me. Ino-chan, wait. Goodbye. She screamed at him and slammed the door as she left his apartment. He flinched as he heard the door slam shut. Oh yeah, that definitely went well. He whispered to no one. For a while all Naruto could think about was the way Ino had left. He wasn't surprised in the slightest that she had reacted in the way that she did. He had wanted to avoid a big blow up, but obviously that didn't happen today. Naruto was worried about her right now. If she was upset, it was possible that she would end up doing something reckless. He seriously hoped he was wrong. I hope like hell she decided to just go home. He was having a hard time shaking the bad feelings he had. To be honest, he didn't trust her to be alone, especially when she was upset. God only knows what could happen, only he didn't have a lot of time to go after her. Naruto did have to get to work. He had bills to pay and he didn't have time to worry about Ino right now. But he knew she wouldn't be too far from his thoughts. She never really was too far from his mind. The blue-eyed male grabbed his keys and headed out of his apartment. He decided that he would check on her at some point of the day. Ino-chan, please don't do anything stupid. Meanwhile, the platinum blonde was on her way home. Her aqua-colored orbs were full of anger as she stormed her way down the blocks. She couldn't believe the nerve of Naruto. That Naruto. She all but growled. Who the hell does he think he is, my fucking keeper? It's not his job to look after me so much. It wasn't as if she didn't appreciate his being there for her. He was always there for her. Naruto was a good friend and she knew that, but these days Ino only wanted to have a little space. She didn't feel like he should have to take care of her all the time. I hate feeling like a burden to him. It was the worst feeling in the world to have when you felt like you were a burden to someone. The last thing Ino wanted to be was an inconvenience. She knew Naruto very well though. He would want to help her regardless. He was just that type of guy. He couldn't help what was in his nature. I guess he really can't help it. She slowed down when she began to debate on whether or not she should go back to make things right. She didn't want to have such a strong tension between them. Naruto was a good friend and she didn't want to lose that. Maybe I should go apologize. He only wants to help. Naruto really can't help being the nice guy that he is. She was about to turn back around when someone called out to her. Hey there, sweetheart. She looked to see a tall dark-haired male, possibly a few years older than her. She wasn't completely sure, nor did she really care at this time. Whatever. She rolled her eyes and kept walking. The man frowned. He really hated being ignored for any reason. Hey girl, did you hear me? Ino only continued walking, showing no signs of either slowing down or acknowledging him. This only made him more upset. He reached out to grab her arm. Hey, fuck off, loser. She shouted and kicked him extremely hard in the balls. Ah shit. He moaned in pain and slowly fell to his knees. Ino smirked. No guy was putting their hands on her without her permission, especially not some shady-looking man like this one. I said fuck off. She repeated. That doesn't mean you go put your damn hands on me. She then left him on the ground, now deciding she would just go home. She was still a little upset over the asshole stepping out of line. The last thing she wanted to do was bring the anger over to Naruto's place. I can always apologize later. I think I need a drink. For most people they would say it was simply too early in the morning for a drink, but to Ino it was never too early. In her mind she wondered why she should wait when the alcohol seemed to be screaming her name. Once at home she grabbed a bottle of wine and sat down on her bed. She turned the television on and began flicking through the channels. There isn't even anything on. She realized. There are over 150 channels and there's nothing to watch, screw cable. she said and placed the remote down. The blue-eyed woman was about to open up the bottle, but for some reason she ended up putting that down as well. Maybe I'll wait until the afternoon. I can use the buzz then. A yawn escaped her and she laid down in the bed, getting underneath her favorite puffy purple blanket. Naruto's bed had been comfortable as well, but there was nothing like sleeping in your own bed. I'm still tired, it's too fucking early. She decided. I'm going to go back to sleep. She had her heart set on closing her eyes and drifting off back to sleep, only she couldn't because the phone by her bed had begun to ring. Oh fuck, what now? She groaned in frustration. She grabbed the phone quickly, nearly hanging up on whoever it was on the other line. What is it? It was a very rude way to answer a phone call. At the moment though the platinum blonde truly didn't care. She wanted to sleep badly and this person was ruining her plans. Ino, are you okay? The blue-eyed female paused as she recognized the voice on the other line. Tenten. She hadn't spoken to Tenten in a very long time. The brown-haired female named Tenten happened to be a very good friend of hers. She was possibly the closest female friend she ever had. Yes. Ino, are you okay? You don't really sound too good. Oh, I'm fine. She lied. How are you though? It's been a while. I'm doing good. I was wondering if maybe you wanted to get together tonight, to catch up a little. Ino closed her eyes while running her fingers through her blonde locks. She was trying to decide on whether or not she should agree to it. The prolonged silence was beginning to worry the brunette on the other end. Ino, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. She nodded. It sounds good. 10. Where do you want me to meet? I'll come get you at your place. Is 9 okay? Sure, I'll be ready. I have to go now though. Tenten, bye. Bye, Ino. Tenten wasn't completely sure, but she just had a bad feeling after having spoken to Ino. Something simply didn't feel right. She hadn't really spoke to Ino in a while, so she couldn't say for sure what was going on. I wonder if she's okay. Tenten soon began to pace back and forth in her own apartment. She had the day off from work, so she did have free time on her hands. The brunette was becoming more and more worried for her friend. That's it, I'm going over there. She got dressed, grabbed her keys and headed to Ino's apartment. She wasn't sure what she would see once she got there, but she just had to see if Ino was okay. Ino's tone of voice had caused her to worry. Tenten needed to see for herself what was going on. She wasn't the only one who was worried about her. A certain blonde-haired male was also concerned. He did make it to work on time, but he still thought of Ino. Was she okay? Had she made it home safely? He worried that she had gone off and done something stupid that she would ultimately regret. He picked up his cell phone and was about to dial her number. At the last minute he decided not to call now. He would go over to her place after work. Ino-chan, I really hope you're okay. Meanwhile, the brunette arrived at her friend's house. She stood there for a minute before knocking on the door. Ino was inside staring blankly at the television. She found that she was unable to get back to sleep, so she decided to just watch TV. Who the fuck is that at the door? She immediately wondered. She didn't get up to answer. Maybe they will go away if I ignore it. Yet the knocking did not stop. Ino sighed heavily and walked over to the front door. What is it? She opened the door to come face to face with a surprised Tenten. Ino blinked a few times before giving her a smile. Oh, I'm sorry, Ten, I didn't know it was you. Come in, okay. Tenten only nodded and followed the blonde female into the apartment. She wasn't sure what to expect, but she sure as hell wasn't expecting this. The whole place was in such a mess that Tenten almost thought she was in the wrong house. Ino had always been such a neat, tidy person. The place was in complete turmoil. There was clothing all over the floor, empty takeout boxes, books everywhere. She also couldn't help but notice the many beer and wine bottles laying around. Tenten was now officially more than just a little concerned. Ino. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about the mess. I haven't really had time to clean lately. Ino pushed the clothes from the couch and onto the floor, making it so Tenten could at least sit down. The brunette sat down reluctantly. All the while she was wondering what the hell happened while she was away. Ino had changed, she could feel it. Ino, what's wrong? Please tell me. Hey, are you thirsty? I can find something, I guess. She ignored the question and slowly made her way into the kitchen, which happened to be a mess as well. Tenten followed behind her to see there was a sink full of dirty dishes, paper plates on the counter, and all sorts of things simply laying around. Ino was now in the refrigerator looking for something non-alcoholic because she knew Tenten didn't drink. I'm sorry, Ten, I don't have anything in here you would want. It's okay, Ino, I'm not thirsty anyway. Ino, what's going on with you? A sigh escaped the platinum blonde. Everything is fine, Ten, why do you ask? Tenten couldn't believe she would even ask that. Did she not find anything wrong with the situation? Her house was a mess, she was obviously not herself, and on top of all that she should be at work this early in the morning. Never mind, Ino, I just wanted to see if you were okay. I should have probably told you that I was going to stop by. Oh, it's fine, Ino told her. I'm glad to see you. She spoke and hugged the brown-haired female. Tenten hugged her friend back. She almost didn't want to leave because she was very worried about Ino. I'm going to go though. I'll see you tonight, right? Yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait. Tenten just gave her a brave smile and said goodbye to her. As soon as she left, Ino breathed a sigh of relief. Now I can relax again. She grabbed a can of beer and began to drink from it. Now that she had time alone, she was able to think. Naruto was back on her mind again. She really needed to talk to him so that she could apologize. She then picked up the phone and called his cell phone. Naruto, who was busy at work, was surprised to receive a phone call from her. Hopefully she wasn't calling to say she was in trouble. Hello. He answered. Naruto. He paused as her voice hit his ears. She happened to be the last person he expected to hear from. Ino-chan, are you alright? I'm fine. What are you doing? I'm at work. The phone conversation went dead for a little while until Ino spoke again. Hey, I won't keep you or anything. I just had to tell you I'm sorry. He certainly wasn't expecting an apology either. Oh, he couldn't hide his surprise. It's okay, Ino-chan. I'm just glad that you aren't hurt. I'm fine, she promised. Good, well, I have to go now, but I'll talk to you soon, okay? Alright, bye, Naruto. And just like that, she was gone. Naruto was about to head straight back to work when suddenly someone he wasn't expecting walked in. Hey, Naruto. He heard the familiar voice. He smiled as he saw the brown-haired female. Tenten-chan, when did you get back? The last thing he knew, Tenten had gone away on business to China. It was good to see her back. I've been back for a few days now. I'm sorry to drop by like this, but can we please talk? Tenten knew that if anyone had any idea what was going on with Ino, it would be Naruto. Okay. He agreed. Cover for me, okay? He said to his coworker. The two friends then went outside to talk. What's up? He wondered. It's about Ino. Naruto had just spoken to her. She couldn't have possibly gotten into trouble that quickly. I just got off the phone with her. Is she? She's not doing good, Naruto. I went over to her place and she seemed so different. What's going on? Naruto knew he hadn't been the only one to see how messed up she was, even Tenten recognized it right away. It's a long story. From there, Naruto went into the details of her latest failed relationship. He explained how it simply sent her over the edge. She hadn't been the same for quite some time now. When he finished the story, Tenten had a visible sign on her face. This is all because of some guy. I think it's more than that, Tenten. All of her relationships end pretty badly, but I think that he was really important to her. It hurt Naruto to have to say it, but he knew it to be true. Ino only saw him as a friend. He seriously doubted she would ever see him as anything more. Tenten looked sad for him. You're still in love with her. I always have been, Tenten, you know that. She's being stupid if she can't see how much you care. I don't care if she's my friend or not. Ino needs to wake up and see what she's got right in front of her. Naruto really appreciated her vote of confidence. It was nice to know that Tenten was rooting for him, but he wasn't expecting for Ino to just fall madly in love with him overnight, if at all. Thanks, Tenten. It's true. She nodded. You're a great guy, Naruto. I bet you've been there for her constantly since she changed. Am I right? Naruto couldn't deny it, so he just gave a firm nod. He was the one that had been there for the platinum blonde. He was the one who wanted to be there anyway. He needed to be there for her. What can I say? I love her. Tenten put her hand to his shoulders in an effort to comfort him. She hated to see her friends down for any reason. It'll be okay, Naruto. Yeah, I'm sure one day Ino will be back to her old self. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Sure. Tenten nodded. Hey, I invited Ino out tonight, but that was way before I saw her in person. Naruto, you should come with us. It wouldn't hurt to have an extra pair of eyes, you know. Okay. He agreed. She'll be pissed though if she thinks you invited me there to babysit though. He knew Ino very well. She would be pissed off if she suspected them of trying to babysit her. Alright, well, you can just act like you showed up for a drink or something. I mean, it's not like you can't go out and have fun too. If she does get mad, well, we will just have to keep her calm. I can do that. Naruto nodded. Good. So I'll see you tonight, you know, at the bar we used to always hang out at. I haven't seen Kiba in a while. Does he still work there? Yep. He's still the bartender. Alright. Well, it will be nice to see him and talk for a while. Bye, Naruto. Bye, Tenten. He waved. The blonde male watched as she walked away. The whole time he was praying that tonight would not end up in a complete disaster. But knowing Ino, anything was possible these days. Watch her. He decided. That night Ino dressed in a black skirt and red top. She looked completely casual but still hot in her opinion. She tied her hair back in its trademark ponytail and put on some pink lip gloss. She gave herself an inspection in the mirror. She thought overall that she looked good. Yeah, I look pretty good. She grabbed her purse and waited for Tenten to come over. Her house was still in the same mess it had been in earlier. She had made no effort to begin cleaning. Honestly, she really didn't give a damn how the apartment looked. She was the only one that had to live here and she didn't have company over at all. The only person to come over was Naruto, and he was too nice to say anything about the mess. A few times he even offered to help clean up. It's funny how he's on my mind again. She whispered. She thought more of the apology she had given over the phone. Ino felt like she could have given a much better apology. She decided she would give him a better one in person whenever she saw him again. Soon a knock at the door brought her out of her thoughts. That must be Tenten. The blonde female grabbed her jacket and purse, then headed to the door. She immediately put a smile on her face for the brunette. Hey Ten, are you ready? Yeah. Tenten managed to smile back. Let's go. Ino nodded and locked the front door. The two friends then headed down to the bar where they all used to hang out. You haven't heard from Sakura or Hinata lately, have you? Tenten asked. No. Ino answered. They are both pretty busy these days. Hinata-chan is in school full-time. And forehead, well, she's busy at the hospital. They were always workaholics. Yeah, they are. Ino agreed. The two of them walked into the bar and headed straight for a table. They immediately ordered sodas. Ino decided to wait a while before she really started to drink. I invited Lee too, if that's okay. Ino raised an eyebrow to Tenten. She hadn't even realized Tenten and Lee were still an item. I thought that you guys were over. We did break up, but we fixed our problems. Well, that's good, I guess, although Lee is a little, well. Ino tried to find the right words. Tenten laughed. Her boyfriend was strange, there was no getting around it. I know he's a little weird. Ino finished. Yeah, but Lee is sweet. He's really sweet. Just like another guy we both know. Ino blinked in confusion for a minute, but it didn't take her long to realize who Tenten was talking about. Tenten just took a sip of her Sprite. You're talking about Naruto. Who else would I be talking about? Ino started. I know that Naruto is one of the good guys. So then what's the problem? It's because he's one of the good guys, that's why. I don't want to destroy him. I don't want to end up breaking him and hurting him. It's better if things stay the way they are now. Yeah, I know he likes me. No, it's more than that. No. Ino cut her off. Don't say it. Love is for the weak, Tenten. Love is like a cancer that feeds off of you from the inside out. It changes you. She spoke with slight venom in her voice. To say it worried the brunette was putting it lightly. I need a real drink. She decided. Just as she said this, Naruto walked into the bar. He looked around and immediately saw Tenten and Ino sitting at a table. Hey Naruto. Kiba waved. Hi Kiba. You see Ino and Tenten are here, right? Yeah. Hey, why don't you get someone to cover for you and come join us? Okay, sounds good. The brown-haired male decided. The two men then walked over to Ino and Tenten's table. Ino looked up when she saw Naruto heading her way. Naruto. Hey Ino-chan, Tenten, how are you both? We're good. Ino nodded. Hey you guys. Hey Kiba, it's been a while. Yeah. The bartender smiled at her. He was glad to see that Tenten was back in town. Ino needed all the friends she could get right now, especially with the way she was behaving. I'll be back with some drinks, okay? Kiba said. What do you want, Naruto? I'll have a beer. Naruto decided. He would of course only be having one beer tonight. He had to of course keep an eye on Ino. And he couldn't do that if he was drunk as well. Not that he couldn't hold his liquor, he was good at that. Kiba, I'll take one too. Ino shouted out to him. Sure. He doubted if she should be drinking at all. But the last thing he wanted to do was piss her off now. Hey Naruto. Ino spoke. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Tenten just watched in silence. A part of her hoping that Ino would finally give Naruto a real chance. You are? Yes. I wanted to apologize again for this morning. I was out of line. Oh, I told you Ino-chan, it's okay. No, it's not. I shouldn't have jumped down your throat like that. You were only trying to help me. You're always there trying to help me, so I'm sorry. He nodded. Well, apology accepted, Ino-chan. He gave her a small smile. Tenten sighed in disappointment. She hated to see Naruto going through this, especially when he really, truly loved the girl. She was sure that Ino knew how deep his feelings for her went. Soon Kiba came back with drinks for everyone. 3 beers and 1 more soda for Tenten. She was the only one who did not drink. So how was China? Kiba asked. Oh, it was great. I loved it over there. I can't wait to go back as soon as possible. You're going back? Naruto asked. Maybe. She answered. It all depends if I'm able to get my boss to let me go back. I had fun though. Her cell phone started to ring, which immediately distracted her. Hold on guys, I'm going to take this call. Okay. Ino nodded while Tenten left to take her phone call. Naruto sat there for a while just staring at the platinum blonde. It was amazing how she could still look so beautiful. The look in her eyes was still dead and not full of any sign of life. But she still looked gorgeous to him. Ino downed the beer and looked around. Kiba, didn't you bring any more? Ino, I don't think. Oh no, not tonight. I'm going to drink whatever the hell I want. She stood up and walked over to the bar, and when she returned she came back with a whole bottle of champagne. Ino, what the hell? Kiba shouted. It's a celebration. Tenten is back, we should all have a drink to celebrate her return. All Naruto and Kiba could do was watch as the platinum blonde opened the bottle and poured herself and everyone else a glass. Come on guys, cheer up, look a little happier. She told them. It was hard to be happy with her acting like this. Soon Tenten came back to the table. Is everything okay, Tenten? Yeah. She seemed disappointed. That was Lee on the phone, he can't make it. Oh, I'm sorry, Ino told her. I didn't know you guys got back together. Naruto said. Yeah, those two are completely in love, you know. Kiba laughed. They can't get enough of each other. Ino flinched slightly. This didn't go unnoticed by Naruto. She hated talking about love and relationships. Ino-chan. Oh yeah, sorry Ino. Kiba apologized. It's okay Kiba, don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay, she said and had another glass of the champagne. When she had finished half of the bottle she put it down. Well, I'm going to go. She decided. Now, but why? Tenten wondered. I'm tired now. I wasn't really able to sleep this whole day, so I want to go home. Hey Ten, we'll have lunch together, okay? She promised. She slowly rose from the table with everyone looking on worried. The good thing was that she didn't seem to be drunk. Naruto immediately stood up as well. Hey Ino-chan, do you want me to walk with you? She wasn't surprised that he had asked this. He wanted to do everything in his power to be there for her. No, it's okay. He could see that she wasn't drunk, which was a good thing. She looked up to meet his worried gaze. Suddenly a feeling of nausea ran through her. Oh shit, I'm going to be sick. She put her hands over her mouth and ran out of the bar with her friends running after her. She was now outside hunched over, throwing up over the curb. Naruto got to her first. He put his hand on to her and began to stroke her back. Are you okay? Why, yeah, I'm fine. Tenten gently pulled her hair back for her friend. Ino. She was worried. I didn't eat anything today except those cookies. She remembered. Naruto wanted to take her to get something to eat right away. How could she possibly go this whole day without eating anything else? Ino-chan, we need to get you something. No, I just need to get home and rest. Thanks though, Naruto. She gently pushed him away from her and waved goodbye to everyone. She said nothing more to them and disappeared up the block. It took everything Naruto had to stop himself from running after her. I know you really want to go after her right now. Kiba said. Yeah, I do. Naruto nodded. But I shouldn't. I really don't want to piss her off if I go after her. I'm going to go too. Bye you guys. Bye Naruto. Both Tenten and Kiba spoke together. They watched the blonde male walk the opposite direction. They knew how hard it had been for him to just walk away from her like that. Do you think they'll be okay? Tenten wondered. Not with the way Ino's been behaving these days. She's not herself these days, it's sad to see. But you know Naruto, he won't give up on her. If anyone can help her, it's him. Unfortunately for Ino, when she got home she found that she wouldn't be getting any sleep. To her surprise, she found her father sitting in her apartment. She hadn't been expecting to see him. Daddy, Ino, he said in a firm voice. When he spoke in such a firm voice, she knew that it wasn't a good thing. Her father was clearly upset with her. What are you doing here? I didn't know you were coming by. Ino, I love you, you are my daughter. But I will not stand by and watch you trash your life. I'm not going to keep paying for this apartment while you do nothing. I've had enough. Daddy, what are you saying? She knew what was coming next. He was about to tell her to get out and not come back. She could feel it. I want you to pack some things and leave. You can come back for the rest of your things later. But I will not keep up your rent for you while you sit back and drink yourself into oblivion. You need help, princess. I'm fine. She shouted. I don't need help. You know what? Fine, I'll go. I don't care anymore. You want this apartment, you can have it. She ran to her room and grabbed a few things, throwing them into bags. She was only going to take a few items that she knew she needed. Her father stood there staring at his daughter with worried eyes. Ino, don't worry about me, Daddy. She spoke with hot tears of anger in her eyes. I'm not doing this to hurt you. I already told you I don't give a fuck. She picked up her bags and headed for the door. She looked back at her father, one of the few men she actually respected, with anger in her eyes. Bye. I'll call you when I need to get the rest of my stuff. And with that she slammed the door behind her and kept right on walking. Once she got a few blocks away from the apartment, the anger began to subside. There's only one place I can go, she whispered. She hated to bother him, especially because she already felt like a burden to him as it was. But he was the only one she could go to right now. He was the only one who would help her with no questions asked. I hate to do this, but I have to go to him. To be honest, the platinum blonde wasn't even really surprised her father kicked her out. He was the one that bought the apartment and was paying the rent. He had every right to tell her to get out. She had lost her job and wasn't doing a thing to try to find another one. I don't blame my father, but She paused. I understand why he wanted me to go. I ruin everything I touch. And with that, she continued on to Naruto's house. The young man was sitting at home watching television. His mind wasn't even focused on the screen in front of him. Naturally, his mind was, of course, with the platinum blonde. He hoped she went home and ate something. But then he remembered the state of her apartment. There wasn't anything very nutritious or probably even edible in the refrigerator. The only thing she had been eating was takeout. And Naruto doubted if she would find the strength to get up and cook for herself, as if she even had groceries. But he decided to try and put it out of his mind. Ino didn't want any help, he had to keep reminding himself of that. It was hard though, watching the person you love destroy themselves. If only there was something more I could do. What could he possibly do that he hadn't tried already? Ino was a grown woman. She had to make her own choices. He just hated sitting back and watching her make all the wrong ones. The only thing he could do was offer her his hand in help. It was up to her to decide whether or not she would take it. He closed his eyes for a minute. Just as he was about to drift off to sleep, there was a knock at his door. A yawn escaped the young man as he rose to his feet. The only thing he was wearing was a sleeveless t-shirt and his black boxers. He wasn't sure who was at his door, but it couldn't be too important. It was getting late, so maybe someone knocked on his door by mistake. He opened it to see the pretty platinum blonde standing there. He wasn't sure if he was dreaming or not. He was about to reach out and touch her to see if she was real, but stopped himself. She was standing there with her bags on the floor besides her. Her face told him that she had been upset. Her eyes were slightly red, so she had tears there. Ino-chan. Naruto, I'm sorry. She immediately apologized. What's wrong? He asked. Naruto, She looked away from him. He blinked in confusion. He didn't really understand what was going on. Why did she come all the way over here to apologize? Tell me what's wrong, Ino-chan. I hate to do this to you, but I need a favor. Of course, what is it? I need to crash here for a little while. Is it okay? She already knew he wouldn't turn her away. There was no way he of all people would make her leave. But when he didn't say anything, she looked away from him again. I'm sorry. She apologized. I really shouldn't have come here anyway. Bye, okay. She turned to leave but stopped when Naruto suddenly grabbed her arm. He turned around so that she was facing him. No. Come in, Ino-chan, it's okay. Come in. He repeated and helped her pick up the bags on the ground. She knew he wouldn't turn her away. It made her feel even the more guilty about having to come to him like this. I guess I will always be a burden to you, huh, Naruto? She thought. Naruto helped her bring in the few bags she did have. The platinum blonde sat down on his couch while he went to make her a cup of tea. He also remembered that she said she hadn't eaten. The pretty blonde just sat there staring into space. She had felt so guilty for having to come here, but she really didn't know where else to go. Here, Ino-chan. He placed the tea and a sandwich in front of her. She really wanted a drink right now, but she accepted the tea regardless. Thank you. Sure. He nodded. You need to eat too. She had completely forgotten about eating. The only thing she was thinking about was the fact that her father had kicked her out. Where the hell was she supposed to go? She couldn't stay here forever, that was for sure. Naruto watched her sip some of the tea, but didn't eat any of the sandwich just yet. He decided to ask her what happened. Would she give him the whole story? He wasn't sure. Ino-chan, what happened? My father kicked me out today. She answered. Oh. Naruto whispered. I'm sorry. Ino shook her head and took another small sip of the tea he gave her. It's not your fault, it's mine, so don't apologize. I should be the one apologizing to you. I shouldn't have had to come over here and bother you like this. The blonde man shook his head and reached for her hands. He held them in his for a few minutes. She avoided his gaze. You're not bothering me, Ino-chan. I'm glad you felt like you could come to me. She came partly because she knew he wouldn't leave her out in the cold. If there was anyone she knew she could always count on, it was him. I'm sorry. She apologized again. A strong hand pressed itself up against her cheek, causing her to look up at the blonde-haired man. They stared at each other for a few moments. Don't apologize anymore, okay? You can stay here with me, Ino. You can stay as long as you need to. Ino nodded and stood up. To his surprise, she wrapped her arms around him. Thank you, Naruto. I don't deserve for you to be this good to me. Hey, cut it out already. Just eat, okay? Thanks, but I'm really not hungry for a sandwich. Do you want me to order takeout? Hold that thought, okay? I'll just see what's in the refrigerator, okay? I'm sure that I can find something. He said nothing as she made her way over to the refrigerator. He doubted if she would find anything to her liking, so he kept the takeout paper close by. Jesus, Naruto, what's with all this healthy shit? He laughed a little. She obviously didn't remember what happened earlier this morning. Ino-chan, the same things that were in there earlier are still there. Oh yeah, she nodded. Hey, there's some chicken in here. You have some lettuce too, so I could make a salad or something. You're going to eat it, right? Naruto asked hopefully. Of course I wouldn't talk about making one if I weren't going to eat it. He watched while she prepared herself a chicken salad. He saw the look in her eyes. She was probably hoping for beer right now, but of course she wouldn't be getting one here. She paused. Naruto, you don't have any salad dressing. I have Italian. Ew. I hate Italian. Never mind, it's okay. I'll eat it plain, she decided. He watched her sit down and take a few bites of the chicken salad. I hate eating alone sometimes. Do you want some? She offered him. No thank you. You should finish the whole thing. You're the one who hasn't eaten anything besides cookies. All right. She shrugged her shoulders and continued to finish eating the salad. Naruto was just glad to see her eating something. He was already worried about her enough. He knew he would have found a way to make sure she ate. Ino only ended up eating half the bowl before putting it down on the table. I feel better now, that salad really hit the spot. He would have preferred if she had eaten the entire salad, but the more important thing was that she had eaten something. You shouldn't go around starving yourself, Ino-chan. I wasn't. I just sort of forgot. It wasn't as if she had been lying. Eating a meal was sometimes the furthest thing from her mind. He did this to you, Ino-chan. He screwed you up so badly. Naruto thought angrily. The young man was so wrapped up in his thoughts he didn't notice Ino staring at him. She couldn't help but see his facial expression. He looked bitter about something. Maybe he's finally coming to his senses about me staying here. The young woman got up and sat down beside him. She placed her arms around his shoulders. Naruto, what's wrong? Her voice snapped him out of his thoughts. I was only thinking. Sorry if I worried you. He stood up and cleared the table. She watched while he put the remainder of the food away. We'll have to go shopping tomorrow. We need to get some groceries that you'll actually eat. Ino spoke. You're going to be staying here, right? You're going to eat while you're living here. We should probably talk about that. Naruto blinked but sat back down so the two of them could talk about their new living arrangements. He didn't see what else had to be said, but if she wanted to talk he would listen. Naruto, first of all, I appreciate you letting me stay here. I know this already, Ino-chan. You don't have to thank me. You can stay here. Thank you. There was an uneasy silence that filled the air. I'm going to go take a shower, okay? The blue-eyed female soon spoke. Okay. Naruto nodded. It was getting late anyway. Naruto wanted to get to sleep. He went into his room and laid down on his bed. He placed his arms behind his head while gazing up into the ceiling. Even now his mind was on the platinum blonde, his brand new house guest. To say he was surprised that Ino's father kicked her out would be a lie. He most likely became fed up with watching Ino trash her life. Naruto knew that her father wasn't trying to hurt by doing this. He most likely felt it had been the right thing to do. Ino needed some sort of wake-up call to pull her out of whatever dark tunnel she was stuck in. Naruto felt though that something much bigger had to hit her than this. I hope one day she will bounce back from all of this. He wanted the old Ino back, that much was certain. He just hoped her wake-up call wouldn't be something that might end up destroying her in the process. Ino stood in the shower. She closed her eyes and allowed the warm water to ease her muscles. The shower had felt so good she almost didn't want to get out. She would stay here in this quiet, warm spot forever if she could. Of course she was aware that couldn't happen. The blue-eyed female knew she couldn't possibly stay in the shower for the rest of her life. Just like she wouldn't be able to run away from her problems forever. She would eventually have to get her life together. I'm such a goddamn mess. Being in the quiet atmosphere gave her a chance to really think. She hated to think sometimes because her thoughts scared her. She had so much in her head that the young woman wasn't sure where to begin. Her shower soon came to an end. She dressed in an oversized t-shirt and a pair of underwear. It was what she would normally sleep in anyway. There wasn't anything wrong with being comfortable. I've been in here so long I'm surprised Naruto didn't come to check up on me. She then exited the bathroom and went in search of Naruto. She found him in his bedroom. Oh, you're done. Are you ready for bed? Naruto asked. Yeah, I'm pretty tired actually. I came to say goodnight. Where are you going? He seemed confused. She gave him a serious look. Naruto, I'm not going to take your bed. I'll take the couch, it's fine. No, the couch isn't all that comfortable. After a few nights you'll get sick of sleeping there. You can have the bed. She understood what a gentleman the young man had been, but she didn't feel right taking over his bed. She was only a guest here. Suddenly an idea came to mind. We'll both sleep here. He felt his cheeks flush red slightly at the thought of sleeping besides her. She probably didn't notice because she didn't say anything about it. Ino-chan, it's the best solution, Naruto. I'm not going to kick you out of your bed. We'll both sleep here, your bed is big enough. That was certainly true. His bed was certainly big enough for the both of them. All right. He nodded and moved over so she could lay down. Ino got into the bed with him, but there was still a good amount of space between them. Good night, okay. Night. Naruto replied. For a while both blondes just laid there in silence. Although they both were equally tired, for some reason sleep wasn't coming for either of them. Ino turned over to see the back of Naruto's head. Hey, are you asleep? No, I can't really sleep. He turned around too so that he was facing her. The two of them were now looking into each other's eyes. Naruto. She spoke and reached out to touch him. He grabbed her hand within his. Before he could stop himself, he had already begun to speak. Ino-chan, stay. Stay here. He told her. Stay here with me. She blinked a few times. It was one thing to let her crash here for a few nights, but it was another to ask her to move in permanently. Naruto, you can't mean. Yes. He nodded. Stay here with me. You don't have anywhere else to go. Your father isn't going to bail you out this time. I want you to stay here with me. He wanted the platinum blonde in any way that he could have her, preferably as most that a friend. But he had to take whatever he could get. Besides, if she was living with him, he could keep a better eyes on her. At least he would know where she was. Naruto, thank you, but if you really want to thank me, you'll stay with me. A sigh escaped the pretty blue-eyed female. She slowly pulled her hand away from his. I don't know. Well, sleep on it and get back to me in the morning. Good night. He told her and turned back around to sleep. Good night. Sleep did not get to Ino right away. The only thing she could think about had been his offer. He already wanted to take care of her, and now she had to deal with his offer of moving in with him. Could she really do it? More importantly, should she do it? He was right about her not having anywhere else to go. And her father made it very clear that he wouldn't be coming to her rescue. Naruto seemed to be her only hope right now. Although it had been his idea, she still felt as if she was taking advantage of him. Honestly, she doubted if she should even be considering his offer. In fact, if she had any decency, she would just find somewhere else to stay. I probably shouldn't have come here. It was much too late for that though. She turned to face her sleeping friend again and put her hand onto his shoulder. You shouldn't put up with me, but you do. You can't possibly L. Ino didn't wish to say the L word. She knew he had feelings for her, but did he love her that much? All of his actions seemed to suggest it. Ino just didn't know what to do. She suddenly wrapped her arms around his waist. I'm sorry, Naruto. I'm sorry for all of this. She whispered to the sleeping male. She thought of nothing more than to apologize to him. The blue-eyed female knew she couldn't be the right woman for him. It would never work out. She was completely positive of this. I can't be that girl for you, Naruto. I'm so sorry. When Ino awoke the next morning, she was greeted by the smell of breakfast being cooked. It had been a long time since she could remember that smell, seeing as how she didn't cook anymore. Ino had taken to ordering out instead of cooking for herself these days. Ino followed the aroma all the way into the kitchen. She saw Naruto cooking. She had no idea he could actually cook. Naruto. Oh, good morning, Ino-chan. I'm making waffles. It isn't disgusting to you, is it? No, waffles are fine. I didn't know you could cook. Naruto nodded. Yeah, well, when you live by yourself, you have to learn these things. Here, eat up. He places a plate of waffles in front of her. It did look good, so she decided to try the waffles. Hey, this is pretty good. He gave her a warm smile and was glad to see her actually enjoying the food he made for her. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's not bad. Naruto soon sat down to his own plate of waffles. He poured both himself and Ino a glass of juice. We should probably get those groceries today. Okay. Ino agreed. Naruto. What's up? I wanted to talk to you about last night and the offer you made me. The blonde male paused so he could take a sip of his juice. It wasn't an offer. I was telling you to stay with me, Ino-chan, because I want you to. Did you come to a decision? He knew that he really wanted her to stay here with him. Sure, he only had a one-bedroom apartment, but he was positive that they could make it work. She had to stay with him. Where else would she go? More importantly, who else was going to put up with her bullshit but him? He was her only option. They both knew this. I think you're crazy for even suggesting I move in. Ino-chan, you need somewhere to stay. It won't be forever or anything, you can stay as long as you need to. The blue-eyed female had a feeling Naruto was going to do everything in his power to convince her to move in. Hey, at least you know I'm clean. Naruto said, which caused her to smile slightly. At least I got her to smile a little. He thought. Okay. Okay, what? Naruto asked. I'll stay here with you, thank you, Naruto. It'll all work out, you'll see. After breakfast had been consumed, the two blondes headed out to the grocery store. Naruto watched almost helplessly as Ino threw mainly junk food into the shopping cart. He saw chips, cookies, beer and other various items. A defeated sort of sigh escaped him. What's wrong? She asked him with a bag of gummy bears in her hand. Ino-chan, you have so much junk food in here. How about some real food? Real food, she repeated. This is real food. No, I'm talking fruit, vegetables, meat. Not candy, chips and other junk. Pick something else, okay? It was now Ino's turn to sigh, but she ended up throwing some strawberries and other fruit into the cart. That's better, I guess. Let's finish shopping, okay? Are you cooking tonight? Ino asked. Sure, if you're eating. Well, as long as I'm not cooking, then it's fine. I'll eat whatever you make. Ino decided. The two blondes finished their grocery shopping and headed back to Naruto's place. As they were walking, Ino couldn't help but notice the many happy couples. It was making her sick to her stomach. How could she not be thinking of her ex right now? Naruto noticed the look in her eyes. Of course she would be upset about all the smiling couples. Ino-chan, it's fine. She spoke. I'm alright. He didn't believe her, but they weren't going to discuss it any further. Once back at his place, the platinum blonde sat down on his couch. She put her hands over her head, pushing her hair back as well. Ino, I just can't stand it. Naruto went over to her and places his arms around her. He disliked seeing her down like this. It'll be okay, he whispered soothingly. She looked into his cerulean blue pools for a moment. She slowly places her hand to his cheek. Naruto. Yeah. She leaned over and kissed him on the cheek. Thank you. Sure. He nodded. Will you be alright? I'm going to put these groceries away. I'll be fine. As he was putting away the groceries, the platinum blonde decided to go back into the bedroom. For some reason, all she wanted to do was rest. She laid down on the big comfortable bed, hugging the pillow to her chest. I'm such a mess, she thought again sadly. Meanwhile, after Naruto had finished putting everything away, he was interrupted by a knock at his front door. He couldn't imagine who would be dropping by now. He opened the door only to come face to face with Ino's father. Mr. Yamanaka. Hello, Naruto. The older man gave a firm nod. Come in. Mr. Yamanaka had a seat with Naruto offering to make him some tea. The older man politely declined the offer. No thank you, son. I came here to talk to you actually. You are very close to my daughter, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if she showed up here. I'm sure you know all about the events of last night. Naruto gave a nod. Yes, sir. I'm sure my daughter has even showed up here. You don't have to say anything. I'm already aware of how you feel about her. Naruto, son, I bet you already offered your help to her. Naruto didn't bother to say anything because of course Mr. Yamanaka was right. Why wouldn't he offer his help to the woman that he loved while she was in trouble? A few moments of silence filled the air. She needs my help, sir. I know you only want what's best for her, Naruto, so do I. Which is why I'm going to tell you to ask her to leave. Naruto stared at the older man and blinked a few times. He wasn't completely surprised that he had asked this. I can't do that, Mr. Yamanaka. I'm not going to kick her out into the street. Son, I know you mean well, but what you're doing isn't really healthy. You can't protect her from everything. Ino needs to help herself without the help of myself or you. She is in serious trouble, I'm afraid. Naruto agreed with him completely on that one. Ino was in trouble right now. She does need help, sir. You're right. I don't want to hurt her, but I believe what I did was for the best. She needs to learn how to stand back on her own 2 feet again. She needs to be the young woman we both remember. How can she do that if we both baby her and allow her to do these things? Mr. Yamanaka was making valid points, but Naruto also knew that he could not turn his back on her. He loved Ino. He wanted to help her. Sir, I understand, really I do. But I'm not just going to kick her out. She's just not strong enough to be on her own right now. Alright. The older man stood up. You are a grown man and capable of making your own choices. So I suppose there's nothing else I can say. Goodbye, son. I'll see myself out. Goodbye, Mr. Yamanaka. Naruto locked the door behind him as he left the apartment. A sigh escaped him and he hung his head down low. He was sure Ino had to have heard everything that was said. He entered the bedroom to see the platinum blonde holding the pillow close to her body. Naruto sat down on the other side of the bed. I know you're not sleeping, Ino-chan. Ino remained quiet. It's okay if you don't want to say anything. I bet your father's words had to hurt. I'm sorry, he said while putting his hand to her shoulder. Don't worry about it, Naruto. My father had a right to say whatever he feels. It's not a big deal. A frown spread across his handsome features. No, it's not okay. I know you can't really be fine with everything he said. Naruto could do nothing but stare at the back of her head since she wouldn't turn around to face him. I don't care. Okay, I won't push you or anything. I'll leave it alone, he decided. Thank you. Ino then turned over and reached for his hand. She squeezed it within hers. You're too good to me, you know that. Things would be even better if you could only let me really love you, he thought. Naruto just wanted his feelings to be returned. He wanted to be with her and show her the love she deserved. But given the current state she was in, it didn't look like it would be happening. I'm not, he said. You are too. Ino nodded. You're always there for me. I can't really remember a time when you weren't there. I don't deserve you. His other hand found its way onto her cheek. Don't say things like that, okay? Everyone deserves someone in their life. You're pretty much stuck with me. He smiled slightly. Ino had a feeling he would say something like that. But truth be told, the idea of always having Naruto around didn't sound bad at all. He was after all one of the good guys. She couldn't think of a better person if she tried. Ino didn't feel as if she deserved him, and that was not going to change. Are you sure that you want to commit yourself to someone as messed up as me? She had to ask. Ino-chan, you aren't so broken where you can't be fixed. Oh, no, I'm definitely broken. Naruto, it's not your job to try and fix me. More importantly, I don't think I want to be fixed. There are just too many pieces. The blonde male just stared sadly at the blue-eyed female. Ino then released his hand from hers. She then went to staring blankly into the ceiling. Everything can be fixed, Ino-chan. No, not everything. Some things are just broken beyond repair, like me. She added. Naruto hated negativity. He had always tried to have a positive outlook on everything. Ino was simply living in a dark tunnel. She saw the world as one big shithole. What do you want for dinner? He randomly asked, deciding to change the subject. I don't care really. I'll eat whatever you're cooking. Okay. He nodded. He really had no idea what he was going to throw together, but like she said, it didn't really matter too much. We should go out tonight. I mean, we're roommates now, right? We should celebrate or something. Anything to get wasted. Alcohol was like her own personal drug. She used it to numb her pain and any other feelings. He had to try to get her to stop drinking somehow. I think the celebrations can wait a while. Ah, she pouted slightly. You're no fun. You can't party all the time. He reminded her. She didn't say anything for a minute. Yeah, I guess that you're right. Life isn't really meant to be one big party. It would be great if it were though. The thing on the platinum blonde's mind was when would she go back to pick up the rest of her things. They couldn't very well sit there, and she wasn't sure if she could fit everything in Naruto's apartment. I'll probably just throw it all into storage until I can afford a new place again. Naruto could see that she had something on her mind. What are you thinking? I was just thinking about what I'm going to do about the rest of my things. My father told me to come back and get them when I was ready. Why don't you just move your things in here? At this, Ino let out a laugh. Naruto, you've seen all of my things. There's no way we'd be able to get everything in here. I'll just put it into storage for the time being. Yeah, you're right. You do have a lot of junk. He teased. Junk, she repeated. Please, all that junk is priceless. It was nice to see her be able to still make a joke or two. It made him believe that his Ino was still in there somewhere. You're still in there somewhere, Ino. You're not as broken as you say. He had to keep believing in this. Naruto would fix all those broken pieces. He had to make her whole again. Hey, I'm going to go out for a minute. I forgot something, I'll be back. Naruto told her. Alright. She nodded. She wanted to ask him where he was going but decided against it. She watched him until he left the room, and once she heard the front door lock, she knew he left. It didn't take long for the blonde to get to her feet. I have to get out of here. Naruto, you don't need me burdening you. I'll only drag you down. The thought of somehow wrecking his life didn't sit too well with her. Maybe it would be best if she just left now. All she had to do was be gone before he returned. She went for her bags and made it to the front door but stopped. Ino couldn't leave this way. To leave now after all his kindness would have been incredibly rude. She also didn't want to imagine the look on his face when he saw that she had left. No, she whispered. I should at least say goodbye. I can't do things this way. She decided, and with that she turned back around to wait for him to return.